Okay, so I'll share my screen also, so you can see my screen. And okay, can you all see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
sir.
good. Okay, so let me put this on the slideshow and then we get cracking. Okay, let me drag this up, 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 up. Okay, so welcome to our third class, and databases and introduction to SQL. Okay, I did a recap of what we did the other time. We talked about a few keywords in SQL. We did an analogy of them as to the natural language we speak, which we all know. And then we talked about trying to build a very base knowledge on a certain keywords and their use, what they will do when we use them. We also created a table on paper, basically, that showed every one of us what was happening behind the scene, what these keywords do and how they operate. We looked specifically at the select keyword. We looked at the from keyword. We looked at the where keyword, and we looked at two conditional statements or two conditional keywords, the and the or. And also, I think I remember we looked at the null and then the not null keyword. You understand? So that was what we looked at yes, last week. So today we continue, and then we looked at a few. We'll be looking at a few more keywords, and then I'll also be sharing resources I believe will be helpful for you guys moving forward. If you want to speak or something is not clear, please raise your hand. You can unmute yourself as long as you do not make a nuisance with it. Just unmute yourself, say excuse me, ask whatever questions you want to ask, and just mute yourself back. I think it's better for all of us that way. So you can call me back if you do not understand anything, please. The sole purpose of having this class is to make you understand. So if you are not clear about anything, please let me know so that I can find a way to explain it to you in a proper manner. It would be a disservice to myself and to you if you are giving your time and I'm giving my time and we cannot make anything useful out of it. Time is the only commodity we can't buy. I hope you all understand that. So thank you very much, everyone. Okay, so our agenda today is to look at logical operators. We're also going to look at data sorting. We'll look at filtering and aggregation. And then I sent a script last week for you guys to create database and create tables in that database, and then to do some data extraction from the database already. So I believe we all know how to create a database. Just copying, not like you are creating it yourself, just copying codes to create database and running it. I also introduced the coderpad.io platform to you, which is actually a really great one for you to use to just practice. Okay, so now the last week we looked at where is this my biro and pen? No. Okay. Okay, I want to use not this. I want to use okay. I not it. I don't want this. I want to write. How can I write? Okay, well, then we just continue with this. I think this has upgraded, so I don't know where everything else is. Okay, so we created a sample database, but so we just move on from there. So we have a sample database here, which is table person. We have first name, last name, and telephone number. So when we look at writing a simple SQL statement, which we did last week, the first thing we would write almost always, you understand, at this beginner level is write select. And now when you write select, you are doing one thing. When you do select, you are telling it what you want. Understand? And what you tell it what you want, you are telling it where to get it from. So that is this select and this from statement. I think I'll have to do this. This has not been very helpful. Wow. Sorry, has anyone used Zoom in the most recent, like a week from now? This is quite strange to me. I can't see pen and paper. So, and that's what I need. Wow. Okay. Okay, so this select statement we have here is very important, and this form we have here. So the select tells us where. The select is telling us what, and this is where. This is telling us, okay, what we want to pull out. That is our column name. So we have something like select this column names, and then we also ask the question, where are these column names? Where do I pick them from? So a simple analogy to look at this would be to say, you have you have your nephew with you or your niece with you, and then you want them to help you pick something. You understand? So if you tell them, oh, go into the bedroom and pick a shirt for me, you know, the thing here would be that your nephew can go into the bedroom and pick any shirt, as long as your nephew recognizes a shirt. You understand? So having the baseline assumption that your nephew knows what a shirt is or your niece knows what a shirt is, she or she would go there and pick any shirt and bring for you. Now, but you are not just looking at any shirt. Oftentimes, you are looking at a particular shirt. You are looking to pick a particular t-shirt. So that is what this is all about. I can't say select and then not have anything I'm selecting. If I have select and I do not have column names I'm selecting, then I would have the asterisk keyword here. Just hold on, which simply means that I am selecting all the columns in this table. You can ask your question, please. I thought someone wanted to ask a question. Okay, so I'll just continue. So moving on with that analogy, so you would ask your niece, oh, go into the bedroom, pick a red shirt. So let's say this column now is red shirt. And then we say, okay, pick also the black trouser. You understand? So your nephew picks a black trouser. Yes, I hope you are following me. And then where is your nephew picking it from? He's picking it from the bed. So you have a red shirt, you have a red shirt, you have a black trouser, and then your nephew is picking it from the bed. So I hope everything I've said so far is clear. Hello? Hello, everyone?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So your nephew is picking it up from the bed. So you have select what you want your nephew to pick and where you want your nephew to pick it from. Now, if you go back a few classes, I think our very first class, we talked about databases, and we said that a DB would have oftentimes more than one table. We have more than one table. So if a database has more than one table now, you understand, I need to tell the database the table I want to pick something from. So if the database has 10 tables or 20 tables or 50 tables, I cannot just tell it select anything. I have to know what I want to select, and then I want to know on what table is what I am selecting from. So that is what we have here. Is all of this understood? What we've done so far, is all of this understood right now?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I'll move forward. I'm sorry, I think this thing has changed. I don't know where cleaner is and everything is. So you guys will just bear with me for the whole of the day. I don't know. Looks like Annotate is not giving me what I want. Or maybe it's because I'm a co-host. Okay, I think there is something here. Okay. These people have changed this thing now. I think this is eraser. Okay, let me just clean this up then. Sorry. The whole interface has changed. So, and I've not used it since last week. So I do not know where everything else is. Okay, so I think I prefer using the text. Okay, so moving on. Moving on, so we move to so when you tell them to select something, they know what they are picking and where they want to pick it from. But the other issue is, when we are actually selecting now, we are oftentimes going to select based on certain criteria. You understand? Like if you work, let me give you an example now that works. So let's say you want to make food. You understand? You are going to be selecting the ingredients you would use to make the food based on certain reasons, if there are reasons. And if there are not reasons, you would be making your selection based on certain criteria. You understand? It's just the same way if you go to the market and you want to make a purchase of probably fruits, you are looking at the fruits and then you are checking, okay, is it ripe? Is it overripe? Let me take a case of bananas now. You can go to the market to look for bananas to buy to eat, and you can go to the market to look for bananas to buy to make banana bread. So now the type of bananas I would buy if I'm just looking at bananas to buy to eat is going to be very different from the type of bananas I'm going to look to buy if I'm just going to the market to buy banana to make bread. Because the banana I'm going to look to buy when I get to the market to make bread, I'm looking for bananas that are great, I can eat them, but I'm looking for bananas that are almost overripe. So those are the types of bananas I'm going to use to make banana bread. But I'm looking for a banana that is just ripe, just for the purpose of eating. I hope we are all clear with that. Hello, please. I hope we are all clear.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Okay, so moving on, because a database now has not just one table, it has many tables. And then the questions we are going to be asking, even a specific table, is going to depend on certain criteria. Okay, for example, now let's say we have a table now. We have a table customers. I think table customers, and then in our table customer now we have customer name. We have customer ID. I think the ID should be the first thing. And then we have something like customer, let's say customer, could you just give me an idea? Say customer name, customer ID, say customer location. I think we used that last week. And then we have customer, okay. So let's just say customer, email. Okay. Say email. I think this should work. Let me pull this to this side. Okay. 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 So assuming we have this, now we can actually we would be looking for certain things or different things from this very small table we have based on certain criteria or based on request from maybe the person we are reporting to or what we are looking for. Because the whole question or the whole purpose of having a database is for you to ask questions. And the questions you're going to be asking are questions that depend on a few things. For instance, now, in this case now, assuming this was a customer table, and then let's say we now have a transaction table, so that just this makes a lot of sense for us. Transaction, please follow me. And then here we would have a transaction ID. Trans ID will have transaction date. We have a transaction amount. We'll have customer ID. We had earlier talked about foreign keys and primary keys. So we will see a foreign key here. So it's a primary key up there, but it's a foreign key here. So I hope that's not causing a ruckus there. And then we have amount, we have customer ID. Okay, we have all of this now. Now, I can ask a question now, or the type of question I could ask from this is, I want what customer, I want the name of a customer that transacted 5 million naira. All customers that did a transaction of 5 million naira, let me write this now. Okay, let's say, give me, so you are a BI analyst or a data analyst, and then your guy tells you, and you work in a bank and says, get me the name of every customer that deposited, okay, transaction, well, deposited 5 million naira in the last 10 weeks. Now, this is a question we can ask from this type of very small database we have. And when we ask this type of question now, although we are not going to joins today, you will look at two things here now. We will look at, okay, how do I know what customer? And that is where the issue of joins come in, because this customer ID maps to this customer ID, and I can pick the name of this person. Now, the other thing that we want to know is, how do I specify the amount of money? And then how do I specify the time? And this brings us to us talking about operators. You understand? So there are several types of operators. We have here, we have Boolean operators, like what we have on screen here. We have, and their meanings. So Boolean operators are very simple. And in this case now, let's say we are looking at still at this database we have now. I could say, I just want all customers that are female. Or I want all customers that are male. And a Boolean operator will be able to help us sort this thing, because this is actually a 0. If we say this is 0, and then we can say this is 1, or we can say this is 1, and that is 0. Are we all clear? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's great. So if we are all clear, that's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay, so moving on. So what we will do with this type of AND operator is, what the AND operator will do is, the AND operator will help us answer questions that require two conditions to be true. So in the database I just, paper database I just erased now, it could help us answer questions like, every customer that transacted between maybe last week and this week, or where the amount of money transacted was maybe okay, but maybe a customer that did 5 million naira twice, or 5 million naira once or twice. You understand? It will, anything that requires two conditions to be true for you to have an answer. You understand? That is what you use the AND condition for. And now the way the AND works is, we have this, what we call a truth table. The way AND works is what we call a truth table. You would have to look at all these things later. What a truth table does is it tells us what would be the outcome when we have things going on and off. So let me do a very small sample. We have X and we have Y here. So the way, this is the truth table for AND. It's different for OR. So because we are going to look at OR here also, it's different. So for the AND truth table, if X is 0, and y is 1. So that means x is false, you understand, and y is true. Our answer will be 0. If x is 1 and y is 0, our answer will be 0. If x is 1 and y is 1, our answer will be 1. So that is the truth table for the AND logical operator. So it is this type of question. So the condition has to be true on what you are looking for. For both conditions, they have to be true for it to work out. The reverse is the same. It's not the same for the OR. So either condition can be true for the OR. For the OR condition, it can be true. So for the OR condition now, if this, okay, this is AND, I wrote OR. This is AND, this is for AND. I'm using it for OR now. So for AND now, either has to be true. You understand? If this is 0 and 1, this will be 1. If this is 1 and 0, this will be 1. If this is 1 and 1, it is still 1. So that is the OR table. That is what the OR logical operator or the OR table looks like. Okay. So I just use that to explain for us so that we have a clear understanding of what we are looking at. So there is not operator. Is an operator that does what? That actually negates. So if you are asking a question and you say it's not, you say like where customer is not or where transaction ID is not valid. Let's say you are trying to run a query against certain things. Or when you say like where sex is not male, you understand? So I want all customers that are female. So instead of writing, oh, where customer is male, I can say where customer is not female. Or I can say, if I'm looking for a male now, I can say where customer is not male. So either ways, I get what I'm looking for by switching. So what it does, it negates what is there. I'm saying it's not something. So if it's not something, it will give me what it is. So I'm just writing the query in reverse order. I hope we are still very clear with everything we've talked about so far.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the next thing we'll look at is when we are still talking about the select is we'll be looking. So look at this now. This is a very, let us do some work here. We here now, we have select now. I think I explained this the last class also, but just to explain better. So what we have here is we have select P name. What are all the people in my class named Mary and are older than 25? Let's just break this down so that it makes a lot of sense. So we have a table, let's say called, let's say class, you understand, okay? Or let's say a table called, let's say it's persons, so that we are on the same page and it doesn't confuse anybody. And then we have name of people in the class. We have their surname. We have their age. We have their sex. We have, since it's, let's say, assume they're in a class, let's say we have their course. We have their department. I think this makes a lot of sense. Let us talk about department. And then let's say we also have, okay, let's say name, age, let's say department. Department should not be here, but just for the sake of this, let us say department is here. And let us say course. Okay, let's say all of these are here. In a true table, a normalized table, you would have just details about just one entity. So having department and course here is not going to work when you're actually trying to normalize a table. But this is just for the purpose of just understanding what we are dealing with here. I hope we're on the same page. Now, the question I'm trying to answer is, who are all the people in my class named Mary and are older than 25? Now, the way I want you to look at this question is try to answer this question speaking English or Yoruba or any other language you speak. It says, it's the same thing as who are all, how many people, or who are the people. You understand? I want to know who are the people. So when I'm saying who are the people, that is to say that I want the details of the people. Now, the details of the people, what details of the people do I have? Now, I can decide what details of the people I want. But in this case, let's say I want their name, I want their surname, I want their age, and I want their sex. Right? But I just do not want everybody. I want only people who are Mary. So definitely I can have more than one Mary in my class. You understand? So I just want all Marys in my class, but I do not just want only all Marys in my class. I want all Marys in this class whose age is greater than 25, or who are not greater than, let me repeat. I want all people whose name is Mary who are older than 25 years old. That's the way you ask the question, or you ask this same question that would help you to write this type of query faster. Who are the people in my class named Mary and are older than 25 years old? So who are the people? This is a column. 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 But, you know, from what we explained earlier, I said that all these columns have attributes. And then each row now contains an element. So for each of this now, you would have what we call an entity. Let me write it here. You would have an entity. Okay, let me write this entity downward so that we have a better understanding, I think. And let me shift this here. So at the intersection of, so this is a row now. This is a row. So entity name, entity surname, entity age, entity sex, entity department, entity course for any numbers of entity. So I can have another entity here. I can have another entity here. I hope you guys are following me. I can have another entity here. For any of these entities here, what is in this row is just for them. There are no clashes. So if this entity name is, in this case now, Mary, and then her surname is maybe Alahu, and then she is 23, and then she is female, obviously. So I can write this as male or female. Let's just go ahead and write female. And then she's in, let's say, CSC as computer science. Let's say department, that would be natural sciences. Or let's say natural sciences. And then let's say she's doing statistics. I'm just picking these things randomly, so please bear with me. But the aim is to make you understand, not to confuse you. So in any case, if I do that, please let me know. So, and let's say we have Nathan here, or Nathan, and Nathan name, surname is, let's say Coca, and then he's 25, and then is male, and then he's in maybe natural, let's say social sciences, and then he's studying something like economics. Now, these details for Nathan are just for Nathan. Details for Mary are just for Mary. But all of these people, we will have several entities like this for all of them. And now, the question we are now trying to answer is, how many Marys, who are the people in my class named Mary and are older than 25? You know, following the structure or the way I said I would ask that question again, I would say, who are the people? So how many people? Can I identify these people? You understand? Now, what details of these people can I use to identify them? So, okay, name. Okay, so who are the people named Mary? So especially now, what I'm looking for, I'm just looking for all Marys. You understand? But I'm not just looking for all Marys now. There is now a criteria. I just want all Marys who fit a particular range. So the way I'll now write this is I'll say, okay, I want to select name. I want to select surname. And the name of the table I'm selecting it from is I want to select it from this table. The name of my table is person. But the question is, who are the people in my class named Mary and are older than 25? So I want to select name and surname from person, where the name of the person I'm selecting, or all the people I'm selecting, is Mary. And the age now of those people is greater than 25. Now you see I put Mary in quotes. I'll put Mary in quotes so that it knows it's just a literal, it's a string, and it's searching against it. You understand? That's why I put Mary in quotes here now. Now, this statement that we have written here is going to give us an answer. And the answer it will give us, it will tell us all people who are married and whose age is greater than 25. However, you would see we have this P in front of it here. This P in front of it here. What we have done is we have actually created what we call an alias. And what is an alias? You remember in our last class, I said you should all repeat after me that a pronoun is a name that is used in place of a noun. So in this case, our noun is person. That is the name of our table. You understand? But I don't want to I don't want to let's say call this, I don't want to write person every time. So I now choose to refer person as P. So what I would now do is, instead of writing this the same way, I'll still write my select statement, and then I will tell this from. I will say, now this person, that is the name of my table. But anytime you see P, identify it to my table. So let me explain this a little bit better. Now, I don't know if it's still a functionality that works on phones. You usually will have hotkeys, so that when you just press 1, probably it's the name of somebody that comes up, or press 2, it's the name of another person that comes up. Yeah, just like it's not a linked list, it's I've forgotten what type of data structure we call it in C. I've forgotten the name now. But what you're just trying to do is you're just trying to identify something with some. So anytime you call A, there is a link to what A is, or what you have named A as. In Linux, we'll call this a soft link or a hard link, as the case may be. So if I'm referring to a directory now, I can say anytime I am, or even a command, I can write a specific command, and I can say anytime I don't want to type, let's say I don't want to type git commit in full. So I can just create a file and write git commit and say, create an alias to refer to git commit as GT. So anytime I write GT in my terminal, it knows that what I'm referring to is git commit. So since it knows that I don't need to write git commit anytime, I just write GT. So the same thing applies here. And why we use this or this type of naming is because our database is not going to have, this is a table and the name of the table is person. But believe you me, you are not going to be writing queries that talk to just one table. You are going to be writing queries that talk to multiple tables. So you would now have, maybe aside from this table person, you can have, if we take, we could say table, let's say courses, let's say payment, let's say grades, name it. You understand? Name all of this. We can keep on going and going. And then I would want to be very specific about what table I am going to, because in these courses now, I should be able to identify, I should be able to link this course to persons. So definitely, if I have, although I would not be using name, I could have something like, just for instance, let me say, person ID, just for the sake of this explanation. I have something like person ID. And then in this person now, in this course now, if it's for a class or a course, I would have the same, because I want to know who is doing this course. And then there are going to be several names. And then if there is, even in this course now, there is a column called name. In this course now, in this table course, there is a column called name. When I say select, when I say select, and then I'm selecting from more than one table, or I am trying to write a query that involves this person, the person table and the course table, and both of them have column named that the name is named now. That is quite interesting. Now, what would happen is it would not know which one to select from. It will be confused, because in table person, there is a column called name. In table courses, there is a column called name. So which name should I come and select? That is why we are saying, okay, I am telling you to select from person. And that's why I will write something like p.name. So it knows that persons is where I'm selecting this name from. And then let's say this one also has the same thing as age here. And I say p.age. It knows I am selecting the age from table persons. Okay. Have I lost anybody? Where did I lose you so that I can go back? Or do you all understand? You can unmute your mics and ask questions, please. Hello? Hello?
Please, throw more light on the last line, created an alias.
Okay, I should explain this.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, please, that part.
I should explain this. Okay, sure. I'll do that. Yeah. Now, I said, when we do something like person P, this person P, what we have done is we have created an alias. We are saying anytime we see person, I can refer to person as P, to table person as P. Just like you would have a nickname, you understand? So you have a friend and then you call your friend, probably guys have a way of giving themselves terrible nicknames. So you could have maybe someone is Sukomi and you could have name like Sunki. So Sukomi knows when he hears Sunki, he knows they are referring to him. So I don't need to call Sukomi. Are you with me? Do you understand? Hello, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yes, very clear.
Okay, I hope I clarified that. It's clear now.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So okay. So let me just clear all of this out. And okay. So that is how we would solve this problem. If it's a problem, I don't think it's a problem. Okay. So I think we missed this. So that was what I was looking for. So we'll just step back a little bit. So here, what we are looking at is, I think, okay, we're supposed to look at conditional operators. We jumped it, or comparison operators. So these comparison operators, they mean what they say, actually. You would use them when you are doing, when you are trying to compare two values, oftentimes. You understand? When you're trying to compare two values, and then you have then as less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equal to, not equal to. So this is this can be quite confusing, but it means the same. So you have this shebang sign and equals to, it means not equal to. These two greater than and less sign close to each other means not equal to. So when you say where you would always use this comparison operators with numbers, and oftentimes with a where clause. You say where this one is less than this one, you understand? Or let's say where grade is less than, or where student grade is less than, or where student grade is greater than. Let's say for the same example I gave earlier on, for our data table persons. So let's say we still have the name, we have surname, we have student grade. Let's just we have student grade here. Now this would not occur in a production database. Just for the purpose of understanding what you're trying to do, please. That's why I'm doing all of this, and I hope it's fruitful. Student name, and then let's say course, and then let's say department now. So okay, so now for anyone in this department, now we have surname, student grade, course, department. So let's say there is an application for scholarships now, you understand, and then they want people who have a CGPA. Let me put CGPA, student grade. Okay, let me just write this as CGPA, so that it makes more sense. So in this case now, so we want all students whose CGPA is students who have a CGPA that is more than 3.0. Understand? And they are studying computer science. So let me fill this with dummy data so that it makes sense. So we have let's say allow here again. Allow can the let's say allow has 2.89. He's studying computer science. He's in natural sciences. Let's say we have Kendi. Kendi's surname is Ade. Sorry. Let's say CGPA is 3.0. He's studying economics. And then he's in social sciences. And then we have maybe is this in class? And then I don't know, is in this. Let's say,
Yes, I'm here.
come again. You can't hear me. Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay.
If I'm in class.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, I get you.
If I'm in class.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So Izine is a brilliant person. Her CGPA is 3.5. She is studying maybe accounting, and she's in maybe banking and finance. I don't know the name they call it. Let's say social sciences. Okay, so now from this now we can ask a lot of questions, and we can use all these operators. We want all students whose grade is less than 3.5. All students whose grade, or all students is less than 3.5. You can say we want all students who are in social sciences and have a second-class upper grade. We can look at all students. So the questions we can answer with these comparisons are as interesting as the way we can think of these comparisons. And that's the truth here. So depending, you can write. So another thing I want to point out here is this. No two people oftentimes will write the same query the same way. The same way I can write something thinking of it as maybe a less than operator would work perfectly well here. Another person can write the same query and use a greater than operator. It depends on how I think and how I write. But all students whose grade is less than 3.5. I would select all students and I will say where their grade, where CGPA is less than 3.5. I have students who are in social sciences. I will write, I'm not writing the queries, but I think you understand what the queries would look like, where department is equal to, in this case now, social sciences. And then for the other one, all students who have a second class upper grade. So we are selecting all students, and then we are saying where CGPA is greater than or equals to 3.5. Now, what I want to draw your attention to is this greater than sign. What it means is this. It is greater, when I say there's something we call monotone increasing, monotone decreasing. We also call something strictly increasing or decreasing. So what we mean, this is very, very explicit. When I say less than 3.5, I'm saying that the CGPA is not equal to 3.5, it's lower than it. So in the result, it will give me 3.5 is not going to be there. When I say greater than or equals to 3, I'm saying that it can be greater than 3.5 or it can be equal to 3.5. So 3.5 will be in my result where I'm writing greater than or equal to. So you have to be very careful when you use greater than sign and less than sign, greater than or equals to sign and less than or equal to sign, because you can write perfect queries, but the way you interpret those operators can make your queries wrong. So this is just something I should point out to you before we move further. But is there anything I've explained here that is not clear to anyone before we move forward? Hello? Is there anything I've explained that is not clear to anybody?
None yet.
Not yet.
Not yet,
Okay,
sir.
that's great. Okay. So I'll move on then. Oh,
Excuse me.
okay, please go ahead, madam.
You talked about monotone decreasing and monotone increasing. Probably you can give further explanation, please.
Okay. So you
Thank
would not need, okay, the general idea when you say monotone increasing is it is strictly increasing, strictly increasing. When we say monotone decreasing, we mean that it is strictly decreasing. It's a word you would come about. You might not need it actually, but it's just the best way I could explain that. When you use the greater than or less than sign, and you are comparing numbers, it is easy to fall into the trap of using any of those signs without due consideration for the type of result it's going to give you. So when you use the less than sign, it can be strictly less than or just less than. When you say something is strictly less than, we are saying that the number you are saying it is less than, that number itself does not appear in the result you are expecting. So for example, now, if I say that we have a budget and I say I just want to see all budgets that are not up to 10 million. Now, because I've said are not up to 10 million, it means in the budget you are going to present to me, 10 million must not be there. But if I say I want to see all budgets that are up to 10 million, you could interpret that also as, okay, how would you interpret that? I want to see all budgets up to 10 million. How would you interpret that? The person that asked the question, how would you interpret that statement? I
It
can't hear you.
shouldn't be less than or greater than 10 million.
Come again, I didn't hear that.
It shouldn't be greater than or less than 10 million. It should be exactly 10 million.
It
It should be exactly 10 million. Like, it shouldn't be greater than or less than.
It shouldn't be greater than or less than 10 million. It should be exactly 10 million. Okay. Now, the question is all budget up to 10 million. Up to. Now, when we say up to 10 million, what we are saying that, in fact, that 10 million naira should not be there. You can give me a budget that is 9.9 million naira. 10 million, and that is the bar. It's just like a divider. And that's what I'm trying to point out with this strictly, this thing, this less than or equal to 10. You would see more of this when you write queries, actually, because you would see it, you'll see it in action. So no worries, but just be careful when you're using comparison operators, especially this greater than sign, greater than or equals to sign, less than sign, and less than or equal to sign. When you are comparing, it can be really tricky getting the right answer because the way it responds, oftentimes it might even depend on the database engine, but that's not something I've seen a lot of. But you just have to be very careful about it. It can give you, you can write the right query, and because of the sign you have chosen, even if you were supposed to use a less than sign, you used a less than or equal to sign, it will give you a wrong result. And if you are supposed to use a greater than sign and use a greater than or equals to sign, it can give you the place where you will see most of this error is not even with the lower than sign or greater than. You will see it mostly with the greater than or equals to sign. You will see most of these things there, because it can be very confusing when you say something greater than or something greater than or equal to something. When I say greater than 10 and I say greater than or equal to 10, should 10 be in the answer or should 10 not be in the answer? So those are the type of questions you would see. Okay, so we do not have so much time. I have a meeting to catch up to, so we are just going to rush. But I think we are done with this. Okay, so this is still the same thing with what we wrote earlier. We want to select who are all the people in my class named Mary, or their son name is Smith. The keyword here is all. You understand? And you remember I drew that all table for you. When you say something is all, we are saying either their son name is Mary or their son name is Smith. But in any case, if their name is Mary, it should be in my result. If their son name is Smith, it should be in my result. If their name is Mary and their son name is Smith, it should be in my result. Should I come again? Do you all understand this, or should I come again, please? Hello? Hello, everyone. Are we still in class? Have I lost you guys?
We are here. We can hear you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, do you understand what I explained now? Do you understand what I just explained now?
Maybe we should ask, is there anybody that does not understand? Looks like majority understand anyway.
Okay. I would move on then. Okay, so now, so this is quite interesting. We looked at something like this the last class. Who are all the people in my class who have email addresses? Who are all the people in my class who have email addresses? So I want everybody in my class, but I don't want people who do not have email addresses. So let me ask you guys, how should we write? This query has been written so you can see it already, but I want a volunteer that would help us to write this query in another way. Who wants to volunteer? I want a volunteer from the class. You want to write this query in another way. Who wants to volunteer? Who are all the people in my class who have email addresses?
Since nobody wants to
I can't
volunteer,
hear you clearly.
let me randomly put somebody on the spot. Since you mentioned, can you hear me? Okay, we
Your
have
voice.
volunteer. Let's go ahead. I think Sylvia.
Okay, a volunteer, please. Thank you very much. Just unmute yourself and talk. I'll just type.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that it's what, because the syntax is not null, it's still what I will use, except that I will change the alias from probably P to another alphabet. So I wouldn't know if that's what you want to achieve or something else.
Well, that's a way to write it. I want you to write it differently from what's written. If you are changing person P to another letter, it's okay, but it doesn't just quite cut.
Okay. Where email address is not null.
Okay, that's where I want somebody to rewrite this part where p.email address is not null. Can anyone try? Okay, no tries. Who are all the people in my class who have email addresses? Okay, so we'll just I'll take that as nobody knows the answer, and then I'll leave it as an assignment for you. Okay, please go ahead.
That part, is that what you're talking about? Where p dot email address is not null. Okay, can we say where p dot email address is greater than 1?
Greater than 1. That's something, but I don't think it will work. But it's worth trying.
Sorry, Coca,
Okay,
can I say something?
Okay, please go ahead.
So the thing is, where is not null, because it's not number. I don't know if we can use the exclamation mark and equals to. So I don't know if that works because it's a text.
It's a text. Huh? Well, that's a good suggestion. It actually might work, but we have to try it out.
Okay, so
so when you do, we do not have so much time. So this you using the shebang operator, that's something that might work, but you have to try it out. I'm not going to tell you if it works or it doesn't work, but you have to try it out. Try it out with another database. I think I have I sent a script to create a database to you guys last week. So, and then in this class also, I'm going to send another one to you guys, and it also includes all of this. So you can, the ones for last week and the one for this week are in the same note that I'm going to send, so you can all get it and use it. So try it out and see if it works or if it doesn't work, and then you can come and tell me.
Sorry, please. You say you should try it where? On
I shared a I shared a what do you call it now? A script to create a database with everyone that was there last week, and then this bakery, which is our practice, is there also. So you have your assignment, your practice, you have everything ready for you. You have this in what I shared last week also.
Okay,
So I'll
it's in
just
the group
share
chat.
it.
okay.
I would reshare it so that you can all have it. So I think for me, I'm done with class today. I hope it was explanatory enough for you. I will stop sharing and then also stop recording.